I'm taking South Alabama at Georgia Southern over 60.5. We've talked about this Georgia Southern offense all year. They have converted from this triple option to this air raid spread attack, 15th highest passer rate in the country. Not only do they pass the ball a ton, but they do it really well. They're 16th in the country in success rate, fourth in the nation in yards per game. Van Treese, he's chucking around. He's got four different players averaging at least 60 yards per game. Hood, Burgess, Singleton, Jones, they've all been explosive. They give them a ton of weapons. They play super fast, which is always good for an over. Sixth in the country in seconds per play. The Eagles are averaging 36.9 points per game. So I'm not worried about this offense. However, the defense is 92nd in success rate, 81st in explosiveness. Now, South Alabama does have fantastic defensive numbers. I really like what Kane Womack's done over there. I do like their defense. They're 11th in the nation in success rate. But if you look at, they've played some bad teams. Like, come on, they held Nicholls State to 7 points, La Tech to 14, Louisiana to 17. They held Arkansas State to 3. And then they played that weird 10-6, rock fight against Troy. So they've been able to kind of pad their stats against bad offenses, but they gave up 24 points to Central Michigan, whose offense is a mess now, 32 to UCLA, 34 to UL Monroe. UL Monroe threw for 371 yards, 4 touchdowns. They averaged 7.6 yards per play. So South Alabama has passed the ball well all season. They've gotten better at picking up big plays in the running game recently. They're really well balanced. 14 passing touchdowns, 15 rushing touchdowns. Georgia Southern's defense can't really stop either. So I think this Georgia Southern offense is kind of unique enough and high flying enough that I think they can do enough damage against this defense to push the total over here.
I like it. No notes on that one. I'm going to hop into my best bet. And far be it from me to go the entire 22 season and not get a part of the UConnaissance. UConn football, now a 15.5-point favorite. Their largest spread that they're having to cover since 2010 when they went to the Fiesta Bowl.
They're a wagon. Mike, they are a wagon.
They are an absolute wagon. You know who isn't a wagon? UMass. So UMass, they're the worst offense in college football. I don't think you need to really break down a lot of the extra advanced metrics to come to that conclusion. But they're also giving up a ton of long plays, both on the ground and through the air. They have a similar game, because I understand our listeners may be worried that UConn's not going to be able to score enough. Temple beat them 28-0. UConn's offense is slightly better than Temple. So when I look at what UConn has, they can run the football. They're 22nd in explosiveness on the ground. And this is an interesting stat for UConn. They're first nationally in limiting explosive passing plays. So generally, when you play a team as bad as UMass, maybe one fluke play goes for 65 yards, they get in field goal range, or they get a touchdown, they cash in. That's really their only chance, and that's something that UConn does really well. So I'm going to take the Huskies lay 15.5 at home here in a battle of New England. And I believe this gets them to 5 wins. So bowl eligibility on the table in a year when Kansas and UConn are turning it all around. I want to have a part of it. I don't want to miss out on this fun. So I'm going to go with that for my best bet here in week 10.
There's an old saying that many of us gamblers know well. Good teams win, great teams cover. No team in the country has covered the spread more this year than Jim Moore Jr.'s UConn Huskies. They are 7-2 ATS. Tied for the most covers at 7 with the Tennessee Volunteers, who just were ranked number 1 in the country. So all I'm hearing, Tennessee 1, UConn 2. Go. You don't just go into the rent on a Friday night and not get your doors blown off. I love it. I'm on it too.